typically will have a line so I can keep track of everything and not like keep skipping over the same person. It's like, sorry, anime guy, I know you have a question, I think, but I never got to you. So I will do my best to keep track of all that, and I'm sure you guys will help me as well, right? Yeah. You got my back? Always. Yeah, you got my back? Yeah. See, they're all good liars. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. Now, first things first. How many of you, because this is the elephant in the room, how many of you are wondering if we are making a Bronies React to the G5 movie?
Nope, not at all.
No one was curious about that? No one? Nobody wants to know? Nobody wants to know? I hear like the client is like, I want to know. Yeah, we're doing a Bronies React.
You didn't tell me about this.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I did tell you. When am I getting your footage?
Later.
We'll do it live. Actually, what works out right now is that I've begun editing on this already. So yes, G5 React is coming. Of course. I've been asked by a lot of people who are like, no, seriously. I'm like, are you gonna do the React to the movie? I'm like, yeah. But then, like, when people ask, I'm like, I don't want to just give it away now. Make you earn it. So I told like a few people, like, come to the project now. Yeah. Now the good news is everybody up here with me still owes me footage, so you can all feel guilty about yourselves. I submitted my footage.
I was busy with Saber watching Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Saber hasn't given me his footage either.
I know.
Big surprise.
I regret nothing.
They all are in on this.
I was too busy watching, like I kept forgetting to read. Alright, who's your best G5 pump?
Okay, so let's start with Pip. I applaud you all for taking on the load there. Okay, I forget the rest of their names.
Hitch. Who's Hitch?
Hitch.
Hitch.
Who says Sunny? Okay, so that's it.
That's all we need to know.
Congrats, bro.
Yeah, I guess you guys are how many?
Yeah, I guess you guys have nothing to say.
No.
Yeah, let's hear it for Izzy. Come on, Izzy. There we go.
Popularity comp.
That's good.
Izzy's had like the most sold out merch, like from other pin tables. Like I've seen like pins and stickers, and, like the other four still there.
Yeah, it is.
Where was this for Pinkie Pie, huh? Yeah.
No, it's been fun to see though because obviously it seems like the characters going into it. So what about Silver? I don't know who your favorite is.
Yeah, who's your favorite?
Well, I was cheering during the Izzy section.
You're an Izzy.
And to see about an Izzy.
So let me see all those hands again for the Zip fans. Or not complain. Are we going to take the name? We are supporters of Zip. We are zippers. Yeah? We're zippers. Zippers. All right. It'll grow. I'll get that.
Well, you need to zip for that.
Fun here. It could be random questions. They could be to individuals up here. You got your hand up right away because you know I was going to do this.
Well, this is for Silver.
Good. Nice.
It had eggs.
What kind of eggs?
Chicken eggs.
We can also go to the recipe.
What did we eat today? Was that the question?
I ate like a burrito with like 10 eggs in it. It was 10. I've eaten.
It was 2 eggs.
No, it was not 2 eggs. It was
2 eggs.
It
It was
really
$10.
It was 10 eggs. All right.
We went to that Build a Breakfast place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
And yeah, I got myself some granny waffles.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was going into this now, but this is what we're going to do.
I got floating things.
floating pancakes. Those just the name scared me. I'm like, is this a before or after incident? Like floating pancakes. Anyways, right?
Yeah. It's one of those things where I'm just like, look, you need food here.
Yeah, I'll eat a lot at dinner though.
You guys know the emergency packets? All right. How many of you just chug it? Like, just put the powder in your mouth? Besides this guy.
Yeah, okay. I'm like the medic of the team because I'm just like, all right, everyone got their emergency. Yeah, exactly.
I think they call you the
True, yeah. I agree with that.
But he's also, in decent shape. So out of curiosity, right now, by a raise of hands, who knows that they have a question here? Okay, so you know what I am going to do? I'm going to do so. I think I will have you guys over here. If you line up just behind it, then we can get through things, and I know I'm not going to mess things up.
Yeah.
And for anybody,
Smart idea.
you like that? Was that pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I love that. Like 5 hands went up and 2 people lined up.
Yeah.
I don't want to get up right now.
I'm leaving. I'm good.
But and throughout it, again, random questions are good. On-point questions are good. Any questions are good. That they're family friendly. You don't have to walk out the door, by the way. The line just goes out the stairwell. It's like, yo, what are you missing everything? All right, first question or second question, I guess.
So I guess it's a general question. One of your earliest Brony React was to the college military. My Little Pony meets like the My Little Pony meets the Bronies.
Right.
And I think the Brony fan was very much in its early stage, kind of like oh man, people are making fun of this. Guys like you, how dare they not take us serious? And every year you guys were kind of like in a state of like, we were kind of like, no, everyone needs to take us serious. You think that it's like not like saying like we couldn't like it was a thing of we couldn't laugh at ourselves. But like, yeah, this isn't like concept business.
So, just real quick, was I the only one on it? Were you in that one?
I was on it.
Yeah, he was on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was cooking.
Yeah, I was cooking.
Good.
Oh, hey guys, sorry I'm late. There's some sort of transportation thing. I think we feel weird though.
Oh, wait.
It's me, fire team Barony.
Wait, what happened to you today?
Yeah, so pretty kind of both tried to get here on the same time at the same time. Yes.
Yes.
I feel like I'm a virgin and not.
Well, I don't know why you're feeling the light.
Just
Fire Team Harmony has been a big part of all. Get a loud round of applause. How comfortable if you're walking around in those?
on a scale of negative.
Because it's so cold, right?
Looks like I'm wrapped up in a carpet set lightly on fire.
It's good to have that little bit of flavor.
Yeah. Guys, that's me. See donuts too.
Well,
Anymore.
okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Back to your question. So it's a good question. So
Yes.
it's the second finish. So for the college humor react, when we first ever Bronies React, first ever one when we were taking on the teens reacting to My Little Fandom, ever seriously.
Yeah.
We have fun with it.
No, that's Disney.
Oh.
You're right.
This whole thing's dinky. I don't know. but yeah, so that's when we went into it. The person who always laughs at himself the most, though, from that React was Gabe.
Where?
No, not here. Because Black Griffin was his first React, and he was dressed up in his navy whites and everything. And he's like, I took it too seriously. And I'm like, you always take things too seriously, Gabe. But yeah, no, we had fun. It was a challenging one, but thanks for taking us back to the past. That was the one where Saber jammed hot Cheetos up his nose.
Was it?
Yeah, well, I mean, he does it most days of the week,
but that's not like a new thing.
did it on camera. So yeah, next question.
So, have you ever had any like weird stuff that's going on while you're trying to get from one panel to another?
So many times.
And the specific?
Super. Elevator. The elevator. Open up to the door did, but not.
Notice that there's like flows very fast.
Can we talk in the hotel that was in The Shining? Like, am I the only one who's like
It's a very confusing layout.
and don't get me wrong, I'm not a hotel. I'm just saying I can't handle it. Oh yeah, that's fun. When I was like a corner when I was on Thursday morning, I saw two twins sitting, and I was like,
Not this guy.
yeah, not again. But no, man, there's so many like mentions that we've done stuff. And I'm curious if you guys have had any moments, strange moments to the next. Is that it? Like the question?
Yeah.
I mean, most of the times it's just been with y'all. Like y'all probably would remember like most of the weird times. It's just like
I'm trying to think of some. I remember we there was one time where we were coming. This was the first MLP MSP. Was anyone at the first MLP MSP here? Yeah. And we had a Brony, and Gabe and I stayed like I was at Gabe's hotel room, which was at a different hotel, and the person handling for that crowd was like, yeah, we'll head over there whenever you guys are ready. And I'm looking at the time and I'm like, doesn't the panel start in 3 minutes? And we're 6 minutes away from the hotel. And that handler drove very fast. And I busted in there and I went, I can't believe that was a rare occasion that I was late. Now there was one, I've actually missed a panel once. And it was because of, like, just to lay it out the way it was, is scheduling never told Saber and I that we were called the YouTuber panel. Like, we didn't submit for it, they just made a YouTuber panel and never told us that we were on it. And I happened to be sitting in a movie theater watching Zootopia, and Saber starts getting all these calls on his phone because they knew I was preoccupied. And they're like, are you guys not coming for your panel? And we're like, we don't have a panel, what are you talking about? And they're like, the YouTuber panel, that's supposed to be you guys. Good to know right now. So yeah, that was a strange one, but it's always fun going through all the hallways. BronyCon was always the hardest one to get from panel to panel. So many people, a lot of people, and it was hard because BronyCon with so many people will stop for pictures or autographs and whatnot. And I was so bad at anyone down. Sometimes it's like, 1 minute, I gotta go. So yeah.
I've had other YouTubers and friends of my friends. They actually will physically yank me as I start to go over and say hi. Oh, you need to stay on track. Come on.
They got a leash.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is supposed to be family friendly.
As you said to me yesterday, oh, mom. That was a moment.
That was it.
Thank you for your question. Hello.
Hey, just a quick question for you. I saw a vinyl wrapped rarity car out in the parking What?
Nope, wasn't mine, but I appreciated it. I saw the same thing. We were all together.
Yeah, we were all
right?
together. It was last
Have you
time.
seen that car, Silver?
What is this outside you speak of?
Oh. So there's, for anyone who hasn't seen it, does anyone here own that car? Okay, I figured you would have piped up.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like you said, there's a stickered up rarity car out from, do you remember what kind of car?
I couldn't tell because the logo is all covered up.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it looks like the kind of car you'd like be like, hey, let's take it out to the local road course and do some laps or whatnot. I was like, whoa, because I love that. I love when people go that far with the stuff, painting up their street cars. Like I only painted up demolition derby cars weird enough. I still liked it though. But I saw that and I was like, that's nice. I caught it in the vlog. Everyone here know that I do convention vlogs or? Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna do it again. So.
All right, just want to ask out here.
No, that was
Although when you called it vinyl wrap, I got entirely the wrong image.
Do you see the vinyl wrapped rarity? Stop there. Explain. Hello.
So, on how you use, when people send in footage of their reactions, how do you map that onto where it is?
The question is when they give me their footage.
Welcome to Bronies React.
This panel's happening so I could get them all together and be like, so I say that I know infuriates other editors because I do put all of the footage together on the timeline because I work with so much footage that like it's for me of everything. And so as far as mapping it to the movie, what I'll do is first I'll go through everyone's footage and they'll kind of narrow footage as far as like, oh, here's the scene I reacted to, like the 3 or 4
Yeah, because you tell
timestamps,
us to do that.
timestamp, yeah.
Yeah.
And the lip I'm reacting to. So I'll chop everything up and cut that down to about how much time I want that I think. Then I start, once I have everybody chopped up, I dice all my tomatoes. Like that reference? Yes. And then I start grouping things together. So like, okay, here's like the first 4 minutes of the movie footage over to that point. And then I'll start editing it down to, all right, who reacted to specific scenes or specific moments? Who's reacting to the same thing? Oh, this is different. No one reacted to this, so I'll set this aside. And I'll kind of clump things together like that. And then it's my last like one video where when I have all that clumped together, I cut it down and then try to again take out even more time because a lot of the stuff I get is so good that I'm like, I gotta leave this in. This is fun. This is, there's always great jokes. It's their fault that they such great stuff to work with. But yeah, that's basically the process, and it does take a couple weeks to put it all together. And my always biggest fear is that someone's gonna send me footage and I'm gonna forget to put it in the timeline and be like, that's weird. I haven't seen much of this person. Luckily, I've only done that with a bonus, and it was Viva. Viva's like, she's like, where's did you not like my answers? And I'm like, oh my god, I almost died. Like, I get it. But yeah, that's basically my editing process, for better or worse. Thank you for. Hello.
Hey. So, super original question. I've never heard before. So I don't know the answer yet. So, if you guys weren't reacting to Pony, what would you maybe all like to react to, or just most of you would like to react to, whether it's a show or movie or something?
Can we do a Bronies React at Saberspark?
Why not? They eat ponies in that, right?
They eat goats.
What's the difference?
Let's see. Oh, can we do a Bronies React to Spider-Verse?
I don't know.
Penny Parker loves Pinkie Pie.
Sure.
Or how about Deadpool? Oh yeah, there you go.
Bronies React to Zootopia.
No, we have to all be
That's
forced in
another
the room.
$5.
Like, no, okay, we like all like be like tied to.
In Clockwork Orange, where their eyes are like.
Stop, I thank you.
This is only the 20th time. I say Disney in general. Like for me, I grew up a Disney fan. I grew up with all those cartoons and those characters. Chip and Dale. I met my wife through Chip and Dale Rescue Ranger fandom. That's right. There's a Chip and Dale Rescue Ranger fandom for those that don't know.
There are dozens of you.
There are literally dozens. And yeah, no, I mean, I've considered at times expanding the channel out that way with more Disney stuff, because obviously I did the stuff with Zootopia, and I will probably continue to. Yeah, there's a show coming out. Zootopia Plus, because everything's plus these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd probably be my answer. Expanding out to stuff like that. Saber's already got the market on terrible movies.
Yeah.
Who wants to waste their time like that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, poor Saber.
True that.
He did this to himself. Well, yeah. Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, you dropped one of your Earth Pony creations.
Ah.
It's a Flash, actually.
Maybe I have Earth Pony creations.
I thought that was an animal cracker for a second.
They don't taste like it. I tried.
Although, I don't know how to feel about you flashing all of us.
Yeah. Oh.
That's the Flash for himself.
That's true. You are flashy.
You're all blind now.
I know. Maybe less of a Flash, more of a glimmer.
No.
Wow. Here we go.
Anyway, so I'm gonna first ask. You've all seen the movie, right? The G5 movie.
There's a movie.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people have gone around asking who's your favorite pony, but instead I'm gonna ask about Sprout. What did you think about Sprout? Would you like him to return? And if so, how would you like him to return? As another villain, or?
I think he's gonna be like one of those things, like, because we've all talked about this in Devil, besides Silver Cool, because like we've had this conversation between us about like how the show's gonna be, because like the movie, oh yeah, it's solid, but we don't know how the show's gonna look, because the movie, it's probably, the show's not probably gonna have that type of, well, how's this gonna look? And so like we're wondering like, okay, what would the characters do? So Sprout, all right, like you just did messed up here, but then you look at like, oh, Starlight freaking was, Starlight, she did all that stuff. Discord, freaking God of Chaos and stuff like that. And then there's just like so many of these bad guys. So it's just like, I think it'd be hilarious how if like they start the show off and it's just like, hey Hitch, can I? No. And you just like close the door and you're just like, and then like throughout the season he just gradually tries to get back in. Then like season 2 is like here, and then like he weans his way back into the group or something like that. But I don't think he's gonna be like a main villain, because it's funny how we've all just started calling him the main 5 or Quio 5, as my friend Hirosashi calls. And so like it's because we have Sprout and we're like, is he gonna join later? Like, do we call the main 6, main 7 when Starlight join? Like, no, it's just like
It would be uneven though, because it'd be like 3 Earth Ponies.
well, wait, can Sunny turn off her alicorn powers?
Yes.
Yeah, because she has alicorn now. She's like, those were holographic, so it's like, can she like, they're not part of her body.
It's like Green Lantern.
It's like power up unicorn per episode. Power up Pegasus, stuff like that. Alicorn. So
I just love that Sprout's just
There.
like when he's got his like just the way he says mommy. I'm like,
Yeah, thank you, mommy.
Thank you, mom.
thank you, mommy. I'm gonna go do care
That's
for
what's your job, Mom?
So yeah,
There are those.
I'd like for him to be sitting. I'd like for him to be sitting in the corner of a town with a dunce cap and a sign that said he had one job.
One job.
Like storyboards that have been uploaded with like they're fake.
I just saw the Twitter post from my question daily about that, and they were fake. So
What
somebody
was that post?
Yeah. It's like storyboards that people are doing for the show. It's like they found out they weren't actually working for the show.
No, but what was the story?
They
But
were doing well,
Oh,
talking
yeah.
to Sprout, who's wearing like a pizza delivery hat, and there's dialogue at the bottom of it going, always this annoying and I just didn't notice.
Oh wow, cool.
But the one of it, the giant robot originally supposed to be his mom. Was that?
Yeah, that was like concept art.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like it's a-
That would have been very
Yes.
fun.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Alright, first off, Race, I want to say that I love the way that you edit the videos, especially putting in, the little tidbits like the Pirates of the Caribbean clips.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like, during the MLB movie when Tempest was chasing them on the pirate ship,
Mhm.
and when you started playing the Captain Look audio, I about died of laughter, I will tell you that right now. I freaking rewinded that.
There's I always love it because there's sometimes the other people that are submitting the footage will also put in clips like that, or make their own versions of it. I always get a kick out of kind of those like little references where it's like, I get this, it made me laugh, I'm gonna put it in. When you brought up though the pirate song sequence, all I could think of was how close Sarah came to throwing a book on my head during that.
What?
I was like, were you aiming for me? Like the specific one that you brought up there, I'm trying to remember who it, like I get together. That might like I've seen everybody's humor come together. Yeah, no, that was that was a good pass.
One, I believe during an anthology, you were being chased by a guard.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was like it was from Brony 2013, and so Josh Dean was part of the first staff that helped put on Bronies. He knew him from, and he messed up for registration. I had just logged in the line and I bumped into him, and he just like immediately goes like, "Hey, what?" Doing so canine instincts kicked in and he chased the running object. He was like, all right, and he was fast. That was it's also BurningCon 2013 vlog, where from my perspective where that's happening. That's what that would have been from. It's the right time I've been chased by security. There's been a yeah, no, thanks for your question. They're looking at this thing all weekend long.
Yeah, so what?
Is it nice? Where'd you get it?
I won it
You won it where?
at the baby shower.
Which baby?
Oh. Congrats.
No, there's a staff member.
Oh. I've been really impressed that you that joke that you're 20.
Jaxblade. Yeah, so Jaxblade, I've asked this to a bunch of people, but man, what color would you?
Oh man,
You
dude. Oh man, that's
you can design anybody you want, any kind of tail, any kind of.
this fish. That I want like a shark one. No, I want like a killer whale one. No, I want like to have like a Ben 10.
No, no. You
Oh.
can't have an omnitrix.
Oh. That's so. With legs. Okay,
Make it
guys.
Let me say this, and let me say this. want a lobster tail.
So just a lobster tail, but no leg.
Wait, Saber wanted a lobster? Butter and I'm good.
Yeah. Not to be like a blue, like a kaiju.
Dude, it's
Dude, can I get like a
Yes! Shut up! Jax! You tell you what, it's your side.
Oh, that's pretty good. I want it a Godzilla tail. This like got the like I got like a oh god Pele, what was that kaiju rim for the tail?
Leatherback?
No, what am I saying? What's the class 5
One of the tentacles.
size is it? I say cuttlefish color. Because it changed me, so like if I'm
Okay,
thinking,
what do you part cuttlefish?
no. Okay, go on. You want it? Tiger shark. Tiger shark. Yes, tiger shark.
We'll talk about it later. You can answer if you want to, Silver.
What, me?
Yes.
Silver.
Sweet bottom. I mean, you know. I've always needed.
Hello.
Hi. So eventually got kind of like most of your reactions. Who were you really on?
I can't think of anybody. No. There were so I've already kind of had like there's been but there are moments that I look back on people saying that they enjoyed the reacts and would love to take part at some point. And it was my little dad broke my heart. And watching me a picture of him hugging, iconic picture of like him hugging Rainbow Dash. It looks like that. You know, just sweet. And then like years. Are you proud to be a Brony? You're gay. I don't know the song we knew gay. Like for me, I was like, wow. No, it's not. I don't know why I prefer Gabe. I just imagine for the guy song, I'm proud to be a Brony. Like the
Kinda is.
so directly answer the question. And I was actually really and joining in. It was, to me, all of the reactors that, I should say, most of the reactors from that that I had good experiences with. Get these back on, and these were had not spoken to in 6 years. Like a contact with them. And one of the most uplifting of all the Bronies Reacts I put together was putting that one together. That were willing for that of how did MLP change your life? It was really special. That there were people that were like, you know what, I enjoyed working with you, and back, and I'm willing. We haven't spoken in half a decade. To me, I was like, wow, it was really special. Seeing how everyone got involved, and then obviously get the show staff involved too. It was just like, wow, this was really cool. I now want to get, this has been a really cool impact on. I didn't quite realize how much fun people have been having with it over the years. I was like, this is great. So that's my answer. Interacted with. Just about everybody that we. Again, and I still laugh looking at back at the live chat whenever, because it was a premiere that I released, and I had the Proud to Be a Brony music there, and everyone was, you can't do that. But no, it was just super special seeing together for that one. Even guys like Living Tombstone, who I hadn't spoken to, and I take part in this and say, damn, this is cool. That'd be my. Thank you. Hello, anime guy.
Alright, my question is, what are some very memorable moments that you've had while recording for a Bronies React?
Oh.
Whether it be like crazy stuff happening or something that happened while you were recording that just sticks into your mind that you or like you were recording.
I hurt myself so bad.
I had to bleep a lot out.
Yeah, like on a bonus Bronies React or something like that. I was like doing this photo because it was like for Equestria Girls, and I was like, oh, he was so perfect. I'm gonna draw me. I pretended to act like, oh, someone walked in my room and saw me, and I went and I went like this, and I banged my funny bone like hard, and then like there's a bonus rat, and I'm just like, oh, please, every single thing I say, I'm just like swearing up a storm, like, yeah, it was just, but yeah, that was just.
I've never been.
Well, which one? Oh yeah, I did. The first initial reaction to the Tyrek fight, I like lost my voice. I couldn't do anything else for the rest of the react. I was just like, you have this one scene from me.
This guy sends me 3 minutes of footage, and I'm like, I'm just making sure that this was everything.
Yeah.
And he's like,
yeah, I gave it my all.
and you did.
Yeah.
made a quick. Actually, my home lighting is just not set up any other way. So I'm just waiting. Really good thing. So actually, we're. Oh no, this was school days. The tiny party cannon that Binky had.
Yep.
I said if there aren't any I'll be.
There weren't.
There weren't. I was disappointed. But when I saw the final ed on YouTube, word for word with the exact Little Shy said the exact same thing, and we spliced us. Could have coordinated it better.
Right.
It's like, okay, that's
Didn't Little Shy say he didn't want to see those?
No, he
both did.
You were both just like change history if he did say that. We'll say no.
I can think of any.
What?
No.
Oh yeah.
Think of something
Like, you know, weird.
Then go right.
Yeah.
I did like your. Then you wore it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I feel like all I have to say is G 3.5. So no.
You know what's funny about that? Yeah.
Completely lost.
It's like, was that 2015?
Thank you. I just wrote
Okay.
it's this date.
No, it was in 2014. And Skype, I think I was with like Hero Saber, but we were talking about our friends who we and like it's like great like lose it like because like every one of us has like a moment where like we broke and we've like seen us just cackle and laugh on that, and at that point I don't think we've heard you like do your race. But we haven't seen that.
Yeah. Is there familiar with G? Yeah.
I think yesterday.
Babies.
The
Cuties.
into G 3.5 with I'd always heard terrible things about it, and I've seen this a couple times in the fandom where things are blown out. I bet it's not. Just through the door. Anyways, that was.
Without moving her mouth.
I broke. I sometimes get goosebumps just thinking of that. That was legit. I could. Sarah was sitting behind. Like doesn't compare.
Oh.
Yeah. That. Yeah. That was for me. Thank you. No.
Blonde hair.
Well.
There's no way that you can do that.
the producer reached black self in regards to both were like, we're not gonna. This is what was asked. Is it weird? Some of the whole reason that I ended up I
Is this because he was union?
no, so that they were like toys and stuff. They never like they're like we, and so they kind of were like because we were trying to make it where we both went on together, and they were like, this would be a disaster.
Oh,
God.
So we were trying to work that out. So then I eventually because I said I can't get. Literally, they contacted and then they said, yeah, you'll be in 5 days. Fly to Chicago in 5 days. Time off. Work that fast. Well, to humor the situation to my manager every day, like, yeah, they thought I was gonna just get time off. My manager does know about these committees. I'm like, I don't think I gave time off. He goes, you got sick time. Fine, I'll do it. I call up the producer, and part of my reasoning for taking it on, for doing it was, I've been in a lot of situations where I've been in front of crowds, handling microphones, working in kind of a spotlight situation, to where I'm like, that won't put me off. And what I didn't want to do was I was like, what I is keep digging deeper and maybe find somebody who isn't ready for that kind of situation to appear on this show. And I was also curious, like, how do shows like this work? So I'm like, you know what? No regrets. Let's go see what this experience is like and how they do it, because I knew that I could handle the situation. I was like, I can go into this. I'm confident that, you know, they're not gonna think I don't want to say, which means, yeah, and I never lied. Like, the whole time they kept saying, we want to find someone obsessed with My Little Pony. And they kept like kind of like trying to put those words in my mouth, and I only ever said I am a big fan of My Little Pony. So even on they give you a script when you go in, and it's not like the whole thing's scripted. It's just that it's your story that they typed up. So you practice it a few times throughout the day. So when you present it to Steve Harvey and his psychologist, they're you don't stumble on how you're presenting it. It's not confusing. You kind of streamline it. But on there it said the first sentence was, "I am obsessed with My Little Pony." I'm like. So when I was doing my run-throughs, I never said that either. I was like, no, I know how I presented my story. But I realized, I'm like, what happens is people probably are given these scripts, and they're probably, terrified, realizing I'm about to go on television for this, national television for something like this. And again, I knew, I'm like, I'm going to stick to what I've always been saying. And I'm fine. And I knew that I had to take down the psychologist first. Yeah. Like, he's my first target. Right. And the problem was they told me that they're like, oh, it's going to be really good. He already knows your story. He knows what he's going to say. Knowing that he knew what he was already going to say, I went, oh, we're going to see how good you are. Right. Because he tried to pin it back on me, right? If you guys have seen the segment where he goes, about how deep this is getting into your life. And I'm like, all I told you was make videos. We paint up demolition derby cars, and so I'm like, so you're saying this because of the? And he's like, oh, everything else you said. He had nothing else to say for the entire segment. I went, yeah, you sit back down, and it was a very interesting experience. And I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it. I did not see Steve Harvey coming to my son. It's gonna happen. But I do what I wanted to do. You can't say it's weird because he has to figure it out for himself. So don't say it's weird. I'm like, crap. That's like how I intro all this to people.
Right.
Hey, so this is weird, but guess where I'm going next week for Milwaukee? Yeah. Check this out. So I'm like, how do I do this? And I went, I'm going to cuss on national television. And they ended up cutting this out. And because it's a PG panel, I will too. I was like, Steve, do you know what I said to myself when I realized I had become a brony? And he leans forward and goes, what'd you say to yourself? And I just looked him right in the eye and went, poop. But I didn't say poop. Yeah. And that's the moment where Steve actually leans back and starts smiling and goes, you know what? I like you. You're weird, but I like you just the way you are. And I was like, yes! Thank you for your question. So we have about 3 minutes. My question as well. Okay, so the three of you have a question. My goal is to get through all three of your questions to end this panel. So, hello.
All right. Okay. So, getting back to the whole 3.5 thing and also other things that have happened both in the past and the more recent future in life. Is there ever a plan to do Bronies React to those with a twist of maybe getting people a little bit inebriated, or maybe having to have a hot wing?
You're suggesting they aren't inebriated when they get on. By the way, I just a friendly reminder to everybody: saying pony life around here is like saying mayonnaise. Be careful. You know, some people they get angry, they get violent. No. Did you follow it up with or feed them hot wings?
Or hot wings, you know, just.
You mean like the hot?
Hot ones, but yeah.
Fun guy. Remember with spicy mustard. And they're all like, what's wrong with you? Yeah. You never know. We, as I've talked about, we just go back. Obviously, G5's coming out, which is fantastic. And we no longer have to talk about, yeah, we're hearing there's a G5. It's here.
Right.
We're in G5 era. We've made it. Good job, Fandom. Yes. So, yeah. Who knows? Who knows what kind of wacky things you'll see. Like I said, they're usually inebriated already. All right, second to last question.
All right, so it's on the topic of G5. Bronies React, My Little Pony, a New Generation, when?
Oh, you can't ask that. Yeah, when am I gonna do my footage? We're still collecting footage for it. So it'll what?
Maybe December?
Next year, yeah, maybe December. It's in the works. I already have some people's footage. I was editing it on the plane. So yeah, it's already being put together. Or time, I'd like it out around this time because I always miss my time frames, and I don't like making people wait. so
sorry.
Not. No, I but no, it's like I said, it's in the works. So when is coming?
Pip is worse main 5.
Wow, Pip.
Jump it! Go get it!
I mean that's taking a pony while she's down.
Yeah.
Is she always down?
Yeah, she's low or short. She's low.
She's low.
Wow. Getting. All right, the final question. Panel.
2 actually. One is about one some of your former panels, like riffing magic, I think it was. What is your process for finding those videos?
We realized that we haven't chosen a video the night before, and then Saber tweets out saying, "Does anyone have any good videos?" And then usually the first one he sees. He says, we did it at Everfree Northwest. We did some riffing, and he and I both it was 2 days before the convention, and I was like, "Have you found a video?" He's like, "No." Well, we need to find a video. We're so used to jumping on a panel, doing our thing without like setup. You know, like I mean, whose line takes setup for the people in the background, but like for Silver, myself, Jax. For us, there's not a lot of setup involved. You know, you show up, you do it. Right here, and I always love this kind of. It's not necessarily improv, but it's working off of you guys, the audience. Like you guys turn these panels into what they are, and that's what I love about them. You know, we're all just goofing and having fun and talking about the projects or the fandom or the show, but yeah. So riffing though is like, oh yeah, we need to prepare for that, and Haleo wasn't there, which is the guy we usually rely on prepping the riffing panels, and you were probably laughing when we're like, Haleo, do you have anything? Burn.
But I'm taking care of landing.
Yeah, I'm busy. And then what was your last question?
How did you feel about being approached for your role in Analysis Anarchy?
Oh, so what's funny about this, you very all that stuff. Yeah. For us, God, this is a throwback here. Has anyone here ever gone to Pacific PonyCon? It's quiet. This was in San Diego. The first year of Pacific PonyCon, the venue was beautiful. First off, so shout out to Pacific PonyCon. It lasted 2 years, but we were approached and yeah, he kind of pulled us aside. He was like, hey, I'm interested in having you and Saberspark on, and we have an idea for a script and whatnot. But I kid you not, that conversation, which happened in I think 2015, I want to say, you saw when we showed up eventually. I honestly thought they were like, we don't actually want these guys in the show. Fair. And yeah, and then they were like, all right, here's the script. And it was like 3 years later, and it was like, which I complaining. We had fun with it. Like I was like, oh cool, it's cool to be a part of this. And yeah, we had fun, but it was a very long process. And I commend. I've been parts of long projects, but I commend the the effort that's always gone into that show that all of you put into it with keeping it going, sticking to a storyline, an ever-evolving storyline. I like I said, I commend everyone that was putting that together for what they did for years.
Lightning Bliss and her crew were really great animators.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. It's not the kind of production that you oftentimes get to see, but like I said, I enjoyed being part of it, even the short bit that we did. With that, I do want to thank. Yeah.
Just one quick question.
Sure, why not?
You didn't get any of your tripod signed. Any of your tripod signed.
Get them signed? I just cover them in nasty duct tape. No one even wants to.
I was gonna say get them signed by a three-legged stand gets signed by a three-legged pony.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I was like, where are you going with this? Oh yeah, you're right.
Tripod man.
Great. We're gonna end it on that note. Thank you all for coming out to the Bronies React panel. We'll see attention. Thanks for your support.
Wherever. So, I heard she did it.
Yeah.
It's working.
Do you want to do a video?
I'm gonna click on this one.
I may talk to you. Time gal 25. That'll be $40.
There you go.
Hey Jax, can I get a photo with you?
Sure, no problem.
I have a friend who absolutely has a crush on you.
Really?
She was not able to make it to the convention.
questions.
Oh, she's
Possible, but
Would you be able to take a photo for us?
Sure.
Right. Oh, thank you so much.
Just press the white button down here.
Alright, I'm getting focused and. Alright. There you go.
Thank you so much, Jax.
You're a great rest of your day.
I'm gonna eat it. Like, this time I'm gonna eat it. I'm eating right there. Fresh. Thank you.
Pretty much supposed to be able to 2 weeks.
Hey, Jack. Yeah, what's your opinion?
I preserved my
I love them.
my OC
Yeah,
one
I
as
love
long
them
as
so
I
much.
could.
If it wasn't so chilly out anymore, yeah, I think this is perfect temperature for me right now. Yeah, it's good.
Like those cookies, they like if you told me something.
Hey, do you have more?
Or not the
Yeah, more of them.
yeah.
Oh, dude, I love that.
That's actually the butter cookie.
I like that.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes. Can I tell you that?
Yeah, don't let me fall.
We're just gonna do a selfie, that's cool. Yeah.
Okay.
I got logged on.
They
Gotta put up the good ones.
all right. Where should we go?
Yeah.
I did a similar.
Thanks for coming out. Thank you, Silver, for holding down the fort.
Sure thing.
In our typical fashion. You're on time.
What's on?
On time.
I just like.
There's gonna come a point where you're gonna be like, how did I?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I keep forgetting about it too.
I will.
I mean, I'm sure it was good on
So I mentioned it briefly in the where I talked about the restoration scale. Check it out. The website that I was
And him and Sarah don't like it. That's actually the cutest story. Like what happened was like she was like, I like gadget more than I think Dale works better. And he was like, Chip works better gadget. They were both making
like a galore washing machine window. What's that? Monty with gadgets? I was cracking up at first when they tapped me on that, and I'm like, oh, yeah, you want me to voice a girl? And they're like, yeah, but she's gonna be what do you think?
I just thought it'd be fun to get everybody's. I think it'd be good to have everyone. So we thought about having Charlie sing caramel and white science in the car.
Nice. I'm happy to do it. Thanks for coming out. Exploring your convention.
And now I've heard that there are now automated trucks.
Hello. Yes. My John Hamilton.
Also,
There you go. Thank you for coming out. Having a good weekend?
I thought of a question.
Okay.
Telling the story about.
YouTubers in general are in different genres. You know, like how do you balance that?
Like the videos.
Like, you know, there's different levels of YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
I realized that for some people that is it.
Mhm. So, like, Saber.
I just thought that's kind of an interesting thing to think about. It's like, how do you this? You know, something you look at more like your job, or it's just your job.
It's like but always kind of wait for it to my wife and I actually have a gaming channel that we've been working on a lot called Ready Player Dumb, and again seeing how all that's gonna kind of progress. But yeah, I work a regular Monday through Friday, and then night is when I crank up the laptop to do editing and put everything together. And I'm literally editing at times when I'm in the passenger seat of a car, wherever I can, because there aren't enough.
What kind of engineering?
Mechanical. So I work on special effects engineering. We do stuff for theme parks. We do stuff for cruise ships. It's always different.
So you're kind of into like Adam Savage type stuff.
The experimental. Yeah, I mean we're typically doing stuff that hasn't been made before. That's why they come to us.
My impression of him is kind of a type guy too, or at least stage props.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you draw the line.
No, yeah, his, like ours are like more stationary, with prop stuff. Where it's like the first thing I ever did was I was brought in to design a magic trick for a casino in China, and it was a massive thing, a story and a half tall, and it was a thing that you could go 360 degrees around it, and was the sphere and bobbing up and down. It has some rings that were going around and all that. It was like the first thing I had to do for this job, and I was like, well, this is weird. Cool. You know, so yeah, and every job's different. So and it's enjoyable. I like the work. I like the people I work with, and I like that they give me the time to come. Well, it was nice meeting you. So you have a good rest of your convention. And oh yeah, I'm like, yeah, you other right there. Right there. You doing this next time?
Well, I'm gonna be at the end taking pictures, but doing no cops.